guys ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the November 4th meeting of the Town Board. We have public hearings, workshops, and a regular meeting. Please join me while we pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, may I have a motion to accept the minutes of October 21st?
I make a motion?
Now, second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
And so before we get started on our public hearings, we do have public comment on any of the resolutions or any matter of town business. If anyone would like to join us at the podium and limit your comments to 3 minutes and just state your name. Okay, well, then we'll keep on moving right through the public hearings. So we have actually 5 of them on the agenda, and many are continuations. Actually, before we get started on that, let me just, for resolution, I'm going to have to ask the board to amend the agenda by removing resolution number 1, adopting the solar energy systems and facilities law. We have a couple of comments from our zoning administrator that we're going to take a look at prior to adopting. So may I have a motion to
I make a motion to remove resolution number 1.
I second that.
and all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open the public hearing. So the first one is the revision to our solar law. And our town attorney adapted the prior law and used some others as models to make these changes, and we did just receive some comments from the planning board that we're going to take a look at. And so if anyone would like to speak on that local law, please join us at the podium. Okay, so I have already gotten a motion to pull it from the agenda, but I think we should go ahead and continue the public hearing to November 18th. So may I have a motion to do that?
Make a motion?
I second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So the second public hearing, and is this the first, Madam Clerk, could you please go ahead and read the public hearing notice?
Please take notice that the Town Board of the Town of Hyde Park will conduct a public hearing on November 4th, 2019 at 7:10 p.m. at the Hyde Park Town Hall, 4383 Albany Post Road, Hyde Park, New York, on the preliminary budget of said town for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2020. A copy of said preliminary budget is available at the office of the Town Clerk, Town of Hyde Park, 4383 Albany Post Road, Hyde Park, New York, during the hours of 8:30 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m., Monday through Friday, where it may be inspected by any interested person. The proposed salaries for the calendar year 2020 are as follows. Town Supervisor, $38,766. Council persons, $8,164. Town Clerk, $54,080. Superintendent of Highways, $77,532. By order of the Town Board of the Town of Hyde Park, dated October 21st, 2019, Hyde Park, New York, Donna McGrogan, Town Clerk.
Okay, so we have the budget on the website if people want to take a look. We are still reviewing some different appropriations based on projected revenues for sales tax and mortgage tax for next year, so we are taking a look at those. We're also taking a look at some other estimated expenses, such as a new police position and a couple other items, a new civilian position in the police department. So if anyone would like to make a comment on the budget, please just go ahead and join us at the podium. Okay, so we haven't finalized it yet. The adoption will be at the November 20th meeting. So we still have some time, some things to work through as a board and different suggestions. We've been meeting with different department heads. I met with the attorneys to, excuse me, not the attorney to the town, the justices. They've requested an additional increase in their salaries. And so I'm taking, I'm putting that out to the board. We haven't really discussed that yet. What we did is everyone, all the elected officials received a 2% increase in their salaries, and that's consistent with what we've been doing for everyone in the town, and I think that's fair. But the justices had some arguments to increase their salaries based on anticipated additional work related to bail reform. So I met with, Joe and I met with the justices last week, and I said that I'd review it with all you and get your input. So you can think about that. They would like, let's see, so everyone received 2%. They were asking for $3,000 each, which I think is more around a 5% increase, something like that. So
Didn't we give them more money and then, because we gave them I think we went up like 10,000.
yeah, they were.
But they didn't get health insurance, and then they started receiving health insurance and kept the 10,000, right?
Right, because, but they contribute 40% to their health insurance, where everyone else in town contributes 15%. So, and then we had increased their salary based on the buyout that the prior judges received. So they went from 31 to 39, and let's see, what is today? It's, that must have been in 2016. And
I guess we just need to be careful, there's a lot of people in this town that, struggle to make their ends meet, and I would hate for the justices to take advantage of that.
yeah, so I do.
But the reason is that this bail reform, they're saying that it's going to probably add another night of court,
Okay.
an additional evening of court.
Yeah.
I don't know how consistent that's going to be, though.
Right.
It's going to be every once in a while it's going to happen, so I don't know if we can justify a across-the-board raise.
Yeah.
They think another night of court a week, every week?
That's, so I think the anticipation is to put an additional court date on the agenda for Monday at 5.
Right.
Because the new bail reform is going to require anyone who is arrested to be arraigned in 72 hours.
Right.
So if they have that on a Monday afternoon, it meets that requirement because of the way their schedules are currently lined up. Where
Can
they-
their salaries be adjusted mid-year, or does it have to be set prior?
I don't believe so. I think that they have to be, actually, we have to research that a little bit in town law. If you notice on the public hearing notice, we did not include the justice salaries.
'Cause I'm just wondering if we didn't give them an increase, but then we did see a tremendous amount of
Right.
workload, then we could address it at that time.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, because they also let us know that they expect some additional hours required for their 2 court clerks, based on some other revisions to the policies and procedures. So, I said, of course, we'll have to accommodate those or work with them on those. The court clerks work 37 and a half hours.
So if we go to
and,
40.
We'll have to see. That I think we can work out during the year. I'm quite certain that the salaries have to be set for that year, I don't think it has to be set for the whole term, but I do think if it's set, it should be set for the whole year.
For the whole year.
And that was kind of my thought too, is, let's not anticipate where this is all going to go, because I know Rob has got a lot of concerns too, how that's going to impact the police department. And it seems that the bail reform was rolled out rather impetuously, we could say, or without a lot of systems in place. So they're still waiting to get direction from their is it the Department of
Well, if their
Criminal
workload
Justice?
increases, I mean, I don't see
Yeah.
a reason why we wouldn't compensate them for that.
Yeah, well, let's
Yeah.
investigate that, and I'll check on whether there's an opportunity to revise it during the year based on increased workload, or whether
Warren, do you have
to-
anything on that?
Yeah, there are limitations on how you can adjust the salaries of the justice after the preliminary budget, but we'd have to discuss how you want to do it, and whether
Okay,
it
yeah,
could fit
because
into those.
I think we went through this before.
Yes,
So you're familiar.
I am. But I'm not exactly sure what you
Yeah,
want to
that's
do.
what I'm
We
saying.
can discuss it.
Yeah, so we'll
So-
discuss that.
We have until the 20th?
Yeah, well, no,
Isn't
we
it-
should have
They
that.
don't get
Right.
paid hourly, but they'd be working more hours.
Well, we'll
It-
see.
it's- Maybe, we don't know.
Yeah, so let me figure, yeah, I'll give everyone an update.
Yeah, since it's brand new, let's see how it plays out.
Yeah,
And
it may have several other impacts on our budget in terms of overtime for the police. And
Right.
if they have to have a third court date, we're going to have to increase the budget line for the court officers. So there's going to be some impacts of this that we can't really anticipate at this point.
So they have to be, just so I understand, with the bail reform, that within 72 hours,
They have to be arraigned.
they have to be arraigned?
And, they have to be arraigned in a courtroom. They have to have police officers there. And,
I wonder, is there a way for us to look at shared services, like between towns? Like, 1 week it's Hyde Park, next week it's Pleasant Valley, third week it's Town of Poughkeepsie?
Yeah.
I mean, or does it have to be within our own court system?
I think we had discussed this also.
yeah, we've already had this, yeah.
We'll have to chew into it and then.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I can give everyone an update at the 18th.
Because I'm sure
or I
that,
can
because
send
every
you a-
court and every department through the towns would really be taxed, so.
Well, that's what that was kind of my response.
Yeah.
This is difficult for us all to anticipate, but the only good thing is that everybody's in the same boat.
Right.
And the other change is going to be that everyone has to receive double notification of their court appearance date. And so right now, people only receive via a letter when they have to be in court. But now, people will get the option from when they're arrested. They get to choose how else they would like to have their court date sent to them. So whether it might be text or email. And so they are anticipating a fairly large effort to notify everybody who is in court right now.
Gotcha.
So there's going to be some changes. And so the one positive, though, is that if they do have the meeting at 5 p.m. or in the afternoon on Monday, it would still allow us to possibly move our meetings over there, as we had discussed, for a 7 p.m. start. So
Okay.
that's still in the works also, but we have still a lot of things to work out with that. So that's that on the budget, but more to be spoken about.
Aileen, you said the 20th a couple of times, but it's the 18th. I just want to make sure
Oh,
that
sorry.
people know that it, right?
Okay, yeah. TC put that in there.
I
You're
thought I
right.
saw-
It's-
Yeah, it is the 18th,
it's
right? I
the
did see the
18th.
20th, but it's
Yes,
the 18th.
you're right, it's the 18th. Thanks, Neil.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay.
So would anyone like to speak on the budget? Did I already? No? Okay. All right, so then we'll go ahead and may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Make a motion?
a second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
So the third public hearing is, again, it's the amendments to the town code and the town comprehensive plan with regard to the creation of a town core zoning district. We're still working on that. Have we heard from Bonnie?
I had an email from Bonnie. I reminded her that we're waiting to finish this up.
Yes.
And she said she just finished a very large project and she'll be focusing on this. So
Okay,
hopefully we
great.
can push this through quickly.
Okay, so why don't we continue that public hearing then to December 2nd?
Make that motion?
And a second?
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
So yeah, that would be December 2nd. Hopefully, we'll have the
final product.
hopefully.
Or should I make it earlier? No, it's probably,
We're close.
Well, it's going to be,
because we're gonna have to
I'm just
recirculate.
coming back from Thanksgiving, so why don't we do it earlier? We can always adjourn it
So-
again. Why don't we continue
Continue.
to November 18th and then?
Okay,
Okay. And I'll try to press Bonnie on that.
okay. So, sorry about
Okay,
that
no
change, okay.
I don't think we voted, though.
Oh, did we get a second?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So then we have the definition of family. Would anyone like to speak on this local law? It's a proposed change defining family as 5 unrelated, if family's a family, but if there are 5 unrelated people living together, constitutes a family under this law. But if there are more than that number of people, then they would be subject to an enforcement action. Is it enforcement or judicial, or kind of an action by the ZBA to
There would have to be a determination by the ZBA whether they constitute the functional equivalent of a family. And again, this law is based on several prototypes that have been enacted by other municipalities in response to litigation that's been filed. So the law is hopefully constitutional and has been tested, and I believe it's in place in the town and the village of Poughkeepsie. I made a few tweaks to the law, but they're minor tweaks, so there's no problem with, it doesn't change the substance of the law. But I made some changes in response to comments. But I think we can vote on it tonight.
Okay, good.
If there are no other.
Yeah, I mean, this law we created in response to residents' concerns about their neighborhoods, where a lot of I don't know about a lot, but an occurrence of single-family homes being converted to essentially rooming houses, and impacting the neighborhoods with parking, with loud parties at night. And so we were asked to, by the various fire districts, and particularly Fairview Fire District, and a couple of other entities, asked, hey, is there a way you can control the use of these homes in single-family neighborhoods? So, this is one way. There's a whole slew of options for, or criteria for people to meet if they are unrelated. Certainly, there's ability for families that are fostering children, a couple other situations that would not come under scrutiny. But again, it's just putting a tool in the town's toolbox to address that. So if anyone would like to speak on that local law, please go ahead and join us at the podium. Okay, so may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Make a motion?
Second?
And all in family? Excuse me, all in family? All in favor? Aye. Okay, so one final is the video, filming and videotaping law. And again, if people would like to make a comment on this law, we've had a number of entities come and ask if they can film in the town of Hyde Park, and they frequently want the services of the police department in order to run their filming smoothly. And so when that's happened, it's a big shuffle to try to figure out how we can accommodate them. We're calling the town attorney, and we're talking to the zoning administrator, and then we're coming up with fees. So we thought we'd just get out ahead of it and create this law so the process would be smoother. So would anyone like to speak on this local law? God, you guys are very quiet tonight. So, okay, so may I have a motion to close the public hearing on the filming and videotaping
I
law?
make a motion.
My second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, So I'm not sure if I offered the public a chance to speak, but if anyone would like to speak on any matter of town business, you're welcome to do so. Okay? No? Anyone? Okay. All right, so
Resolutions?
let's do the resolutions.
Okay, did you get my email about the substituted local law?
Yes, it's
So
attached
we just have to
everything.
add that to the day.
Yes.
Okay. So just to explain that, there was one change that was made to the filming law to add the term commercial. And I made that change and I sent it on to the town clerk and sent a copy to every board member. Again, it's just a minor change. It doesn't change the substance. So we're going to have to substitute the amended law before you vote on it tonight.
It's on the back of their resolutions. They each have a copy on their resolution.
Correct.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay, so Neil, you want to go ahead?
Resolution 11-4-2 of 2019, resolution adopting proposed local law number G of the year 2019 entitled "A Local Law Amending the Town of Hyde Park Code to Amend Article 2, Section 108.2.2 to add a new definition of the term family and amending Article 33, Section 108-33.3 of the code to vest the Zoning Board of Appeals with the power to make a determination as to whether a group of more than 5 unrelated persons occupying a single dwelling unit constitutes a family, as that term is now defined in the zoning code."
I second.
And a roll call, please.
Councilman Krupnik.
Aye.
Councilman Ray.
Aye.
Councilman Marine.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
Supervisor Rohr.
Aye.
Okay. Resolution 11-4-3 of 2019, a resolution adopting local law I of the year 2019 entitled "A Local Law Amending the Town of Hyde Park Town Code to enact a new chapter 52 entitled Filming and Videotaping."
And-
Second.
And, okay, another roll call, please.
Councilman Krupnik.
Aye.
Councilman Ray.
Aye.
Councilman Marine.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
Supervisor Rohr.
Aye.
Resolution 11-4-4 of 2019, resolution setting the public hearing on special district benefit assessment rolls.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 11-4-5 of 2019, resolution approving budget revisions to the Town of Hyde Park for the period of October 2019, budget revision number 2019-10.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 11-4-6 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve the purchase of new computers for Town of Hyde Park offices.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 11-4-7 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to appoint Rich Gassiarowski to the Town of Hyde Park Board of Assessment Review.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And welcome aboard, Richard. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to working with you.
And we're not done with you yet, Richard.
Another
Resolution
one.
11-4-8 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to appoint Richard Gazarovski to the Town of Hyde Park Conservation Advisory Council, CAC, and to appoint Neil Krupnik, Ward 1 Council Member, as a Town Board Liaison.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Neil, you knew that was happening, right?
Yes, not a surprise. And I just want to thank Rich for
Yes,
stepping up.
definitely. And Neil, are you, do you know when the CAC meets? Do you want Caroline to follow up with that? Look at, he's already on
Very
top of
good.
things. Like that. Great.
Right on it.
Which is great.
Thanks, both of you.
All right, next one's my pleasure. Resolution 11-4-9 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to appoint part-time police assistant Gilbert Garcia and Kimberly McNamee to the Town of Hyde Park Police Department.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'm
Welcome
assuming
aboard.
Mr. Garcia and Ms. McNamee is here? No?
No?
No. Resolution 11-4-10 of 2019, resolution authorizing the release of the balance of escrow for the Town of Hyde Park zoning administrator.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 11-4-11 of 2019, resolution authorizing the release of the balance of escrow from the Town of Hyde Park Zoning Board of Appeals according to resolution number 19-CZ.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 11, 4-12 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve a change order credit for Ray S. Pantel for electrical construction services for the Hyde Park Route 9 pedestrian lighting project.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And I just want to thank Patel. They did a great job, and in fact, this is the kind of change order I like because it was a credit to us. They came in 22,000 under.
Under
what-
budget.
Under budget.
That's
So
great.
That's very nice.
Resolution 11, 4-13 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve a change order for Clark Patterson Lee for construction administration services for the Hyde Park Route 9 pedestrian lighting project.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so I think that's it for tonight. I want to remind everybody that tomorrow is Election Day. We have to just move the chairs, you guys, before we leave tonight, but that's it. Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. I'm not going to cheers. You gotta carry the load.